everyone. So it's been a long time coming. I'm sure in no way, especially if you follow me on Instagram, you're surprised that today I'm going to be doing a review of the Alice in Wonderland collection from Urban Decay. This collection was not sent to me. Wish it was. You know, if anybody wants to send me makeup, that'd be awesome. But, you know, that's okay. And I purchased it all myself, so I'm not skewed in any way. I did purchase the whole collection. Not gonna lie. I have never purchased a full collection of anything, ever, in my entire life, as far as makeup goes. And I just wanted it, honestly. I love Disney everything. My family's a Disney family. We go to Disney World all the time. I love Alice in Wonderland. Johnny Depp's by far my favorite actor. Tim Burton's my favorite director. Put them together, it's always magic, in my opinion. So I bought it. I bought some things that I was like, oh, let's just do it. Let's get out of our comfort zone. So I'm going to talk about the lipsticks first and then the eyeshadow palette. This will probably be a long video because, as always, I'm going to swatch everything and give you a little description. I know that makes the videos longer, but I feel like that makes them the most helpful, and that's kind of the point. So let's talk about the lipstick I have on today. It's the Iracabeth lipstick. Again, these are all the Urban Decay lipsticks. Here's the bullet. They do have a little UD kind of stamped in there, which is cute. I don't know if this is the Revolution formula, if this is the new Vice formula, if this is its own formula. It doesn't say anything about it. It just says lipstick. So this is the matte. So they had matte, mineralized, and sheer. I think that's all three. Excuse me, metallized and sheer. So this is the matte one, and that's one swatch. It is so pigmented. Now, all the other ones I've worn for a full day. This one I just put on, but it's really comfortable. It is slightly drying, but really it's pretty comfortable. It is so pretty. It is one swipe. This was like one swatch application. It slides on really easy, and it's super, wow, bam in your face. So then I'm going to go over the three metallized. First is Time. This is one, I bought it because I was like, listen, I don't have anything like it, and I have a lot of makeup, and let's just try it out. I still don't know how I feel about it. I did wear it in a video. This one shakes a little bit in the tube, by the way. I don't know if that's just mine. Some of mine do and some of mine don't, but this one does. I wore it in... Was it my haul video? I don't know. I wore it in a video recently, so if you want to see that, it's also on Instagram. This one I found to be, so that's just one swipe. You know, builds it up. It does have little bitty glitters. All the metallized do, but I don't feel them on the lips. I did find it to be kind of patchy as far as, you know, upon application. And it's a blue lipstick. I mean, I knew what I was buying. I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. It's definitely different. I definitely believe that makeup is supposed to be fun, and sometimes you get out of your comfort zone. Some of my friends, they all know about my channel and that I have absurd amount of makeup, were like, yeah, blue lipstick. I'm not sure about it. So, I don't know. I feel like it was patchy. If you want a blue lipstick, I feel like it was patchy. It was kind of deep. It was kind of more gothic as opposed to like a bright blue. It's not a bad lipstick. It was definitely, it was blue. I just don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. But I am glad I have it. I think it's very unique in my collection. Next is Mad Hatter. This might be my favorite. I love a purple lip. If you've been watching me for a while, you probably know that. Again, it's metallized. I didn't find that this one was very patchy, though. And this one was really pigmented. So again, that's one swipe. And then, you know, you can build it up a little bit. But this is a really true purple. It doesn't have a lot of pink in it, but it does have a nice luster. It's not really a frost. It's not really like a satin. It's kind of a luster finish. Again, it does have some micro glitter, but I didn't feel it on my lips. I feel like it lasted well. Both of these, once I ate, it kind of gave me a lip ring. So having a blue lip liner ring, that was something different. But this Mad Hatter, obviously, I had to have it anyway because it's Johnny Depp. And the Mad Hatter's just great. But I love purple lipstick, and I think this is a beautiful purple. And so if you like purple, I think you need it. Oh, and I didn't even talk about the packaging of the lipsticks. So they have Urban Decay right here on the bullet, and then, you know, it's just a twist up. And then they have, the cover is really cute. It's got a UD on the top, which is the same UD that's stamped into the actual lipstick. And it's got like a kaleidoscope kind of thing going on. Lots of color. I think it's really cute. And that one, like I said, is probably my favorite. And next we have Mirana. I wore this yesterday. It's a really dark shade. It's a very deep vampy shade. Very berry. I think it's great for fall. It does have some like pinky burgundy red glitter. This one is like ever so slightly patchy. So I thought the blue was very patchy. This one was a little bit, and the Hatter was not at all. But it's pretty. It's very pigmented. Like the Hatter was kind of sheer. The other two are very pigmented, full coverage, wow, in your face. And it was nice. I think yesterday I was wearing like, what was eyeshadow? Oh, I was wearing green eyeshadow yesterday actually. So it was nice. It was dark, but I think it's just not seasonal right now because I do like to wear a brighter lip all year round. But it's beautiful. I think it's a good lipstick, and if you're into these berries, I think it's very wearable. So these two, some people might not find some wearable. This is a red. I think this is wearable for anybody. And again, I mentioned this in my haul video. I think with all the colors, they were very cognizant of skin tone. I think that anybody of any skin tone can wear this. I'm pretty fair, but I think even if you have a really deep, dark skin tone, you can wear this and pull it off and it looks beautiful. And last but not least is the one that I think is the most polarizing. It's the shade Alice, and this is a sheer formula. Sheer shimmer, it says. Now, I'm not even, here's a one swatch. So, in the bullet, it looks like a really gross yellowy orange lipstick. But it's got this really pretty, I'm hoping I can pick it up. It's got a pink shift to it. Again, hopefully you can see it, it's right there. I don't think the light is really catching it. Maybe right there. Do y'all see that like very faint pink shift? On the lips, it shows up a lot. I love it. I think it's a really cool nude lip. I think it's really great when you're thinking about pairing it with the eyeshadow palette, which we're going to get into in just a second, because this is a lot of color. And a lot of people, not always, because I did, a lot of people are like, if I'm going to do a bunch of color in my eyes, I want a nude lip. And this is great. It's very unique. It's not like a duochrome. It's not like super 90s. I think it's very wearable. I think it's got a beautiful pink shift, but it's not glittery feeling and like gritty on your lips. I don't know. I wasn't sure about it. I think that you see that like pink? I hope you can. And if not, trust me. I wasn't so sure about it when I got it. But now I think this and Hatter are probably my two favorites. I really like Iracabeth too. Mirana is beautiful. Time, I'm just not sure about. So, those are the 4 lipsticks. If you're gonna only get one, I recommend Hatter. But, you know, you could buy all 5 like me and be a crazy person. Hi, Kanga. My little girl's trying to snuggle. And then next we have the palette. Oh, Hippocampus heard somebody talk about Kanga, so he needs some love too. I've heard some complaints about this packaging. I understand the complaints. I have a large collection. I have an Alex 6 unit. If you haven't seen my makeup collection, I'll link it below. And I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes. I just recently posted my eyeshadow palette collection. I'll link that below if you're interested. And I have a lot, and I know that. So this is going to take up a lot of room. It's kind of thick, and it's kind of unnecessarily thick because this is the only, like, this drawer, which is like, what, half of the height, is the only thing that has eyeshadows in it. But I think you kind of go with what you have. This is an Alice in Wonderland collection. People are buying this as a collector's item. It's beautiful. It's, again, got that lots of color kaleidoscopic. It says Alice in Wonderland through the looking glass. You lift it up. It says, we're all mad here. And then it says, I'm not strange, weird, off, nor crazy. My reality is just different than yours. So it has that, and it's a magnetic little closure. And on the top, it's got the blue butterfly. So it does flap its wings. Sorry, I'm trying to... It's really pretty. I mentioned this. I don't know that much about this palette as far as what went into it. But if you don't know, the voice of the butterfly is Alan Rickman, who's also Snape, who recently died. So I think maybe they were doing that to as a ode to him, and maybe not. Maybe it's just the butterfly. It's very iconic Alice in Wonderland symbol. But I think it's kind of nice if they were. So I like the packaging. I think you have to think about what it's for, but I can see why people did complain. And it is all cardboard. And then you do have a brush. It's the exact same brush that came with the Vice 4 palette. So you've got a paddle that's really, like a paddle side that's really good for packing on shadows. And I find that when I use this brush, I don't get any fallout. And then you've got this like very wispy shade that it's kind of good for a crease, but it's just very thin and wispy. So it doesn't pack a lot of punch, if that makes sense. And then, oh my gosh, that was scary. Can y'all just take a minute and look at what I just did to my knee? Woo! It's okay. Crisis averted. You have the actual eyeshadow palette that you should not drop on the floor. Here it is. 20 eyeshadows. It looks like it's metal, but it's actually all cardboard. That's just a kind of an optical illusion. Again, I think that's cute in theme with the Alice in Wonderland. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch across in rows. First, you have the shade Looking Glass, which is a matte, and it's a nice light pink. I have been using it as a brow bone highlight. It's really a little, it's not quite stark enough for me for a brow bone highlight for my skin tone, but I think it would be if you're a little bit deeper than me. And it is really nice and pigmented, you can tell. Next, I have the shade Hatter, which is this beautiful matte Kelly green. I thought it had glitter. No, it doesn't. It is totally matte, and it packs a punch. I wore this yesterday, and I mean, it's like, hey, girl, I got some green eyeshadow on. Then you have the shade Lily, which is very unique. It's kind of like the eyeshadow version of the Alice lipstick. It is what I have on my inner half of my lid. So it's this really light, like powdery pinky shade, but it's got a pink shift in it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't think it's picking up. Because once it hits light, it just looks reflective. But it's a very bright pink. I think it's really cool on the eyes. It looks very intriguing and different. Then you have the shade, and again, I didn't mention this, but kind of with the branding, I thought Urban Decay did a really good job naming these. I think Too Faced in general does that with all of their palettes. They have very cute names, and it's very themed. And I felt like Urban Decay really did that with this palette, and it's something I enjoy. It just makes it a little more fun. And again, this is kind of a collector's item-y palette for a lot of people, so it makes it even better. So next you have the shade Heads Roll. Excuse me. This is a really pretty kind of like a deep teal, and it's got some silver glitter in it. It's actually got a lot of silver glitter in it, but it's a matte base. I haven't used this one on my eyelids yet, but that is really pretty and really pigmented. And last but not least is the shade Time. Now I'm going to show you a swatch of this. It is a gorgeous navy, chock full of silver glitter. Look at that. It's almost like a grayish navy, but it's definitely blue. I swatched this one night, and I said, I need to wear this tomorrow. And I'm going to wear it on my lids, and I'm just going to say, that's what we're doing. It did not do what I wanted it to do. It just looked like a black, deep shade on my lids, and it just didn't really work like I wanted it to, but swatched, it's so pretty. So I've only used it once. A few shades I've used almost every day, but generally I've only used it once. So I'm not like writing it off, but I was really disappointed when I did use this one because I think it swatches amazing. So next we have the shade Reflect. So that's the first row. We're on the second row now. We have the shade Reflection, which is this like very warm orangey shade that would be a great transition. It's very similar to my skin tone. It is really pigmented. It's showing up really nicely on my, I hope you can see it. It's right there. So it's a very light orange. Again, it'd be great for like a transition shade. And it's matte. Then we have the shade Gone Mad. This one feels a little rough in the palette. And it's this really nice deep eggplant shade. And it's got some purple glitter in it as well. It's decently pigmented. It's not the most pigmented shade in this palette by any means. The Hatter shade I think is a lot nicer or the Heads Roll, which actually has the little silver glitter. I think it's more pigmented than the Gone Mad shade, but I do think Gone Mad is definitely workable, and it's very buildable on the lid. It's just not, it doesn't pack as much punch in just a finger swatch. Then you have the shade Duchess, which is a beautiful metallic. It's like an orange, and again, it has that pink shift. That's very similar to the Alice lipstick and the Lily shade. Yeah, it's an orange with that pink shift. It's a little bit of a deeper pink. Oh, I really want you to be able to see that. I think you can. There's a pink shift, and this is the Lily shade that also has the pink shift in case you're still looking for that. So it's unique. It's very unique. I know that a lot of people say Urban Decay does color, but they do the same colors over and over again. I think that this Lily shade and the Duchess shade are very unique. And it's always the next one. This is the shade Bandersnatch, and it is a matte navy, and it is very pigmented. I used this one twice. It does swatch a little patchy, but I don't find that it applies that way. I think it's gorgeous. I think it is very similar to the Lorac Pro 2 navy. Let's do a swatch. Let's do a side-by-side swatch. Which some people complain about, but I think it's beautiful. So this is the Lorac Pro 2. It's actually probably not as dark, but we'll do it. Lorac Pro 2. Excuse me, can you please handle yourself? Thank you. And Bandersnatch. They have very similar, super soft textures. Yeah, Bandersnatch is not as deep, and it's more blue than the Lorac one. So you can have both. It's fine. So it's not as deep, but again, it's very buildable, and I think it looks pretty on the eyes. And next is the shade Dream On. I used it with the glitter glue, and I loved it. But swatched, it's just chunky glitter. It looks like it's just a chunky shade that has glitter and nothing else. That doesn't... It looks like it's got like a little bit of a purple base and a lot of silver glitter. And that's what it looks like in the palette as well. But I used it with Too Faced glitter glue, and it was amazing. I packed it on with the brush that comes with, and I loved it. I put it all over the lid, and I was just like, yes, 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 this is what I want this to be. So I don't know if you have to have that base. I think maybe if you've used it and you used a different base, let me know, please, because I've only used it once, because I've only had this palette for about a week. And I was trying to use as many colors as I could to really give you a good review of it. So I don't know, that's kind of a disappointing shade. It's just kind of a nothing shade, but you can make it work with the Too Faced glitter glue, and it's beautiful. Next we have the shade Dormouse. This is the third row now, and it's a very nice warm brown with some silver glitter. I feel like, there it is, it's beautiful and pigmented. I feel like they did a pretty nice job, especially in this third row that I'm doing right now, of incorporating some neutrals, because you do need some neutrals to ground out a palette. Usually you can't just have, oh, I'm gonna wear this pink and this green and this light blue. I mean, you can, if you did that, then girl, I'm about it. But a lot of people, you just need something to ground out a palette and be like, look, I'm slightly normal. And I think they did a good job with that, and this is a really nice pigmented shade. Then we have the shade Paradox, which is a beautiful super metallic orange. This is one of the best shades in the palette, in my opinion. It's just like, hey girl, I'm orange. Hope you're good with that. It's beautiful. It is similar to the Flame shade from the Vice 4 palette, but it's not the same. It's not as chunky. It's very smooth and metallic and no visible glitter. Love that. Then you have the shade Kingdom, which is very similar. It's a very metallic shade, but it's a brown. Like kind of a coppery brown shade. Not really copper. So there's that shade again. It's just another really nice neutral that'll be great for incorporating into other looks. Or if you want to grab this palette and do a neutral eye, then there it is. Then you have Salazem Grum. This is actually the shade that I have in my crease today. And it's another beautiful, that was one swatch. Look at that. Talk about pigmentation. Beautiful, reddy, pinky shade. So metallic. It looks like it's wet, but it's not. Those three shades are all probably the 3 best shades in the palette. And then you have the shade Chronosphere, which is a deep brown, and it's got some green in it. It's almost like an olive. And again, very highly metallic and beautiful. So now we're going to go to the last row. It's got the shade Metamorphosis. This is a really interesting shade. It's a very light blue. It's not periwinkle. It's more blue than that. It's almost got a little bit of purple, and it's matte. And there it is. I think that's beautiful. I think that's exactly what you would hope this would be. I have used it on the lid, and it was a little disappointing. But that was only once. Again, I'm still playing with it, and it's a gorgeous shade. Then we have the shade Cake, which is a hot pink with some silver glitter. It is what I have in my outer corner today. It's weird because it's really a fuchsia. It looks like it's very hot pink in the pan, but it's really got a lot of purple in it. It's slightly patchy, and it's not quite as pigmented as some of the other shades, but it's very workable and very pretty. Then we have the shade Chessboard. I've used this every day as a blending shade. It's a really nice, kind of really almost cool tone neutral brown, and it's matte. So it's right there. It's kind of dark, but I've used it as a blending shade, and I really like the way it looked. Then I have the shade Royal Flush, which again I've used every day as an inner corner highlight. This is a very white, almost goldy white, powdery shadow, but it works great as an inner corner highlight. It's what I have in today. It's very bright and brightening, and if you like a stark, shiny inner corner highlight like I do, then there you go. And then you have the last shade, which is Mirror, which is a kind of a satiny, deep slate gray. I'm gonna swatch it right there. It's not as metallic as these three. So that is the whole palette. You've got a lot of color, you've got a lot of neutrals. I think they did a really good job assembling this palette. I think it's really cutely branded, and I love the names. However, I've used it for almost a week. I haven't loved every single look I've come up with. In fact, more often than not, I've used this palette, and there was something off about my look. I didn't love it. I told you about the time. I used time, and it just looked like a deep, gross, smoky eye. Today I like what I have. When I used Gimme as my lid shade, I loved it. But I don't love every look I come up with this palette. Again, I need to play with it some more. Yesterday I really liked what I had. So I've had like 3 looks that I loved, and then like 2 that I really did not. I think that these don't all blend as well as they should. The Urban Decay is known for their eyeshadows. This was not an inexpensive palette. It does come with 20 shades, but still, it wasn't inexpensive. And I think that for what you get, these should blend really easily. Not blend out, but just blend. And they don't. I think they're a little hard to work with. If you're a beginner, I wouldn't suggest this palette by any means. And even me, I mean, I wear makeup every day, and I wear a lot of makeup. And I do find it kind of hard to work with. That being said, I'm very excited that I have it. I love it. I think I look at it and I get a lot of ideas. I do feel like I'm going to end up using this in another palette a lot, just because, like, if you just want to use a lid shade and then ground it out with all colors, but if you want to do a couple of greens and kind of mix it up, you can't really do that. They have like 1 green, 1 purple, 1 pink, a couple of blues, but I feel like you kind of, if you want to do a whole look, you kind of need to bring it in, but at the same time, they did a really good job with their neutrals. I hope that makes sense. Like today, I have all pinks on, and that works. But besides that, I don't think you can do it. Maybe an all blue look. But I like it. It's a collector's item. That's what it really is. That being said, I'm not going to just sit there and not use it. I've used it a lot. I think to have makeup just to look at is kind of weird. If that's what you do, I'm not judging. I'm just saying I like to use it. So it is usable. It is pretty. It's not as high quality as I wanted it to be. but I'm still very happy I have it. So that's my honest review. The lipsticks I love. Time is still weirding me out. I just don't know how I feel about it. But all the other ones I love. Alice, I recommend. I know that it's polarizing, I recommend, but if you're only going to get one, get Hatter. So that's my whole review. This is a long video, but I wanted to give you all of my thoughts. I hope that you appreciate my honesty. I'm sure you do, and if not, why do you watch videos if you just want to hear people lie? I don't understand that. So anyway, I will see y'all real soon. If you have any questions about what's on my face, I always link everything down below. And if you have any requests, suggestions, comments, any of that, go ahead and leave it down below. Talking to y'all is one of my favorite things. So I will see y'all real soon. Bye.